What's the most dangerous lie you tell yourself? There's a lie so common, so socially accepted, that almost no one questions it. It sounds reasonable, mature even, and because it doesn't feel like a lie, it quietly destroys more futures than bad luck ever could. The lie is simple. I still have time. It feels harmless, comforting, rational. It lets you breathe. It lets you delay. It lets you avoid making uncomfortable decisions today by pushing them into an undefined future where things will somehow be easier. And because nothing immediately breaks, you assume the lie is true. Your mind, your body, yourself becomes accustomed to whatever you continuously or constantly expose it to. So if you're giving it comfort and less discomfort, it becomes accustomed to that. And then any amount of discomfort feels so unappealing. You know what you need to do. We all do, right? We know there's things that we should do that are good for us. And if we just expose ourselves to the discomfort, make ourselves uncomfortable, then we can handle so much more discomfort. Our tolerance increases. There's a farm here, so you can hear the roosters or whatever. The mind treats future consequences as less real than present comfort. What hurts now feels urgent, but what costs you later feels negotiable. So the brain doesn't reject the lie that you still have time. It rewards it. But this lie doesn't fail loudly. It works slowly. When people say they still have time, what they really mean is that they believe time is neutral, that it waits, that it pauses while they think, hesitate, recover, or prepare. But time doesn't do that. Time only moves in one direction, and it charges interest the entire way. Every day you delay acting on what you already know, the cost quietly increases. The danger of this lie isn't that it's obviously false. The danger is that it's partially true. Of course you have some time. The question is not whether you have time. It's whether you have the amount of time you think you do, and whether that time will be available when you finally decide to use it. People imagine the future as flexible, as if energy, health, focus, and opportunity will always be there, waiting. But those things are not guaranteed. They fluctuate, they decline, they get redirected, and sometimes they disappear entirely without your permission. What makes this lie especially destructive is that it only shows its damage in retrospect. No one wakes up one morning and says, "Today I lost 20 years." They wake up one morning and realize they're living inside decisions they made slowly, passively, and without urgency. This is how the lie operates. It tells you there's no need to act today, no need to risk embarrassment, no need to face discomfort, no need to confront uncertainty, because tomorrow is available, next year is available, someday is available, until it isn't. There is a bee in here, and the bee is right around me right now. Here's the part most people don't want to hear. The window for many things is narrower than you think, not just biologically, but psychologically. Courage fades when it's not used. Tolerance for risk shrinks when comfort becomes normal. The ability to endure uncertainty weakens when life becomes too predictable. Waiting doesn't preserve strength, it erodes it. The mind adapts to whatever you repeatedly expose it to. If you expose it to comfort, it learns comfort. If you expose it to avoidance, it learns avoidance. And courage is not stored, it's conditioned. And when it's not practiced, it doesn't wait for you. It atrophies. What we said about courage. It's not, these qualities aren't stored in you. They're not stores. You don't store them. You condition them. And if you don't use them, they do atrophy. So if we are not using these qualities, developing these strengths in us, pushing the envelope, those muscles don't get stronger. They get weaker. And we become weaker over time. This is why people often say, I don't feel ready. When what they really mean is, I've waited so long, the idea of starting now feels heavier than it would have earlier. Readiness doesn't arrive with time. It arrives with movement. The lie also disguises itself as responsibility. People say they're being patient, strategic, careful. But patience without direction is just delay with a nice name. Strategy without execution is intellectual comfort. And carefulness, when taken too far, becomes self-sabotage. There is a difference between preparation and postponement. Preparation has an end date. Postponement keeps moving the line. The uncomfortable truth is that many people already know what they need to do next. You know that. They just don't want to accept the cost of doing it. So instead, they negotiate with time. They tell themselves the lie again tomorrow, and the next day, and the next, until years have passed. This is why urgency matters. Not frantic urgency, not panic, but sober urgency. The kind that comes from understanding that time is not an ally. Time is a force. And like any force, it can work for you or against you, depending on how you position yourself. There's a simple mental shift that breaks this lie, that you have time. Stop assuming the clock is accurate and act as if it's wrong. Act as if you're already later than you think you are. Not to create fear, but to create clarity. When you act from that assumption, priorities sharpen. The distractions lose their appeal, and excuses sound weaker. You stop asking, do I feel like it? And start asking, what actually matters? People who move ahead in life are not reckless. They are decisive. They don't wait for perfect confidence. They move with imperfect information and just make adjustments as they go. And they understand that hesitation has a cost, even if no one sends you a bill for it. If you want a practical rule to replace the lie, that you still have time, use this. When something matters and you feel resistance, that's your signal to move, not wait. Resistance is not a sign you're unready. It's often a sign that you're standing at the edge of growth. So the goal is not to rush your life. The goal is to stop wasting time, pretending you have more of it than you really do. Because one day the lie stops working, not because you suddenly see through it, but because reality makes the decision for you. And when that happens, the regret isn't that you failed, it's that you delayed. You don't need to do everything today, but you do need to stop telling yourself you'll begin later. Later is where potential goes to disappear quietly. The moment you stop believing the lie, that you still have time, urgency returns. And with urgency comes movement. And with movement, something most people never experience. Momentum in the right direction. Thank you for joining me in our talk today. If you found this video useful, please share it with a friend. And like and subscribe. It supports my channel. And I'll see you on the next video.